All right, y'all. Welcome back to d.visionz podcast. Today,
I was looking at the camera, so.
well, I guess we got Mara back, right? So we got Mara P back in the house again on the podcast. Um, and I mean, the first episode she was there as well. She's here in the second episode. So thank you, Mara P, for being here once again. Glad to have you. Today
Thank
we're
you.
going more so focus on. We're gonna talk a little bit. We're gonna talk a little bit tomorrow, and just kind of figure out how has life been like for her. So I got a few questions for her, just to get her perspective. That may lead to my perspective with a few different things. So
Like we'll bounce off each other.
yeah, we'll kind of just
Okay.
bounce off each other today and see where this conversation leads to. But with that being said, you guys don't forget right now, if you haven't, subscribe to this podcast channel so that way whenever I drop a video, you'll be notified. And if you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up as well. And as well, is there anything that you want us to talk about? Make sure to comment that down below, or you can also, in my bio, I've also attached my email, which is kingdvisions@gmail.com. So
Visions with the Z.
yeah, visions with a Z. So you can also email me on there as well, and I'm checking that regularly as well. And I already have one person, honestly. I already have one person to reach out to me on there, so I will be soon. Once I just kind of
Navigate it.
navigate the email and how it's kind of said, I'll definitely be speaking on that. So that's gonna be coming out soon as well. But I mean, other than that, y'all, let's get straight into it. So, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually good. It's late at night, but I
Yeah.
mean, I guess this
I
is
feel like I'm always yawning, but
what,
it's because like
probably we're always doing something late at night.
yeah.
Always. It's always like that's just when everything happens late at night or something. It's funny, like Roddy Ricch song Late at Night.
Yeah.
Um,
I would say like parenting, but it's not even that. I feel like we've always done things late at night.
nah, yeah. That was just
Yeah.
honestly, I think we got better staying in the house because of we used to always be out late. Like even when we first moved here, we were always at Walmart. Well, we was charging the car.
Yeah. That's what really had us out
Yeah,
late at
we
night.
was
Yeah.
charging the car. All right,
Yeah.
but I mean, what has just kind of piggybacking off of first episode, we just kind of talk about moving and navigating and a little bit of different things. What would you say? What has been the biggest change? For you.
The biggest change. I would say definitely like moving into this house, correct?
Yeah, just moving here, having a baby.
Well, for me, it's been the distance, like being so far away from what we called home, which is Pasadena. It's just, I mean, I feel like you're used to that city, so you're kind of like, you know where everything is. You get what I'm saying? And you're comfortable, like moving around. I would say like it's taken some adjusting for me to navigate like around this city and like learning where everything is, and I'm still adjusting.
I'm laughing. I'm smiling because you keep using my word navigate.
I'm
That's my word right there. I use that word.
okay. Well, but yes.
So okay, let's get into a little bit as far as just adjusting. I think we kind of hit a lot about. I feel like we talked a lot about that in the first one, just a little bit. But let's talk about the major adjustment. The major adjustment as far as prior to before all of this, you were going to school, you were working, you're staying with your parents. I mean, now you're a stay-at-home mom. What has that been like?
So I feel like definitely you feel a little bit more. You feel grown. You feel older. Just because you're free. You're free to do whatever you want. I mean, under the conditions of like, yes, you have a baby. Yes, you have 3 puppies. Like, yes, you have a house to like take care of as well. And obviously a boyfriend. But I would say like.
But what has that transition been like? So like, the transition as far as, you were waking up every day, 6 o'clock in the morning, having to drive to Northridge, what was that, 3 days out of the week, I believe, or 2 days?
Yeah.
When you weren't doing that, taking on a job, I mean, literally, you were pregnant during your graduation.
Yeah.
So it's like, right after all of this, what has that transition been like for you in your life?
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? What has that transition been?
Like, how have you? Has it been difficult for you? Have you been able to?
I feel like the challenges change.
So what challenges have?
So like the challenges then were waking up early, like to like super early. I feel like now they say, oh, when you have a baby, like you're gonna be waking up super early. It's different with every child, I'm sure, but I feel like specifically with our daughter, she wakes up, but then she's back to sleep usually in the mornings. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like that part. I feel like I've been less stressed about waking up so early. Like I've been able to get my rest. I feel like I've been actually able to like get my sleep. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been able to get my sleep. Like I said, the challenges just change. Like it's not
so
like.
So what challenges have you faced? What are the challenges that you have faced? Now being a stay-at-home mom versus, going to work or being out there in the work field. What challenges have you encountered?
A big one is like my social life. Mm-hmm. So, being a stay-at-home mom is great. I mean, you get to spend your time with your baby. Like, what's better than that, right? But, yeah, like I don't go out there and do what I used to do, which is like communication. So like even if I was in school, I was in groups, like working with groups. Like I was always either networking or talking to people or like socializing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, now I'm talking to the dogs. Literally, like they're who I like kind of talk to. I mean, it's so funny, but no, like it's funny, but it's the truth. I mean, I feel like people talk to their dogs. I mean, they understand. They're not talking back, but they have their own way of communicating back. And then I'm talking to Leia, although she's a baby. Mm-hmm. That's what I do. I mean, when you come home, I talk to you. I try to get on the phone like with my family, like my mom. That way I have like a little bit more social. A lot of times I also, one thing that I've been doing recently is with my friends, like on Snapchat, I'll like talk.
You guys been doing that video?
Yeah, like we just talk back and forth. Like whether like my friend just went to get a matcha, like she'll tell me how like her matcha is good. Like we'll do like little videos for each other as well. Like for example, the noodles, remember the noodles I bought from TikTok? Mm-hmm. So like I'll do like a video like showing them like a taste test. And they'll do things like that. So I feel like that's also been like a good way to socialize. It's been fun for me. TikTok has been another thing that I've been able to be a little bit creative. I haven't got to the point where I speak to my phone, but I feel like once I do that, that'll be fun as well.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, let's kind of move into the direction of for you now as a mother. Mm-hmm. How important is the mother's role?
It's important. It's very important. I mean, your child depends on you. Like I was thinking about that earlier about how like when I'm carrying Leia, like she only sees what I let her see, like she can't move for herself yet. So it's crazy how much you impact their little lives, Like it's crazy.
Explain. You lost me there, so explain that a little bit.
Okay, for example, like if I want Leia to just sit there in a corner and like learn nothing, like that's you as a mom. Like you as a mom, like you make that for your child. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, if I'm like constantly like, okay, like let's play with this toy, and like I'm like, for example, with the little shapes, I'm explaining like, okay, this is a triangle, it goes in here. Like you're literally like all they know. You're literally like the only thing like that controls their life. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it. I mean, yeah, like you control their lives. So it's a big part. I mean, it's like, I don't want to put it like that, but like if you have a robot, like you're telling it what to do, and you're giving it direction. Like that's what you do with the baby. Like you control everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 through 10, how hard has motherhood been for you?
Okay, so at the beginning or now?
Just all the way. I mean,
Okay.
we're talking about all
At
the way.
the, I mean, at the beginning.
You can't speak on just now. I mean,
Just
we're
now,
talking
yeah.
about from all the way from motherhood, as far as it started during your pregnancy.
Yeah.
Throughout your pregnancy.
Yeah.
What we hit on. Episode 1, which is we're talking about pre-production. Then production, and then post-production. I mean, what is what has life been like as a mother?
Well, it's been rewarding, definitely. Like I said, like some days are easier, some days are harder, but I definitely would say that my the newborn stage was difficult for me. I was so used to well, even if you were just there for like that week, right, when you were off of work. It was that first week or first 2 weeks?
Yeah, like the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, so like having you there and then not having you there kind of like just took me by surprise, like not by surprise, but like it just like, whoa, like threw me out there. So like being with you, I definitely would say that like a two-parent household is better than one in that sense, because I received, well, it depends, because some dads don't help out, but I received a lot of your help. And once I felt like, dang, like this is all back like on me, I felt a lot of stress, and I felt like I couldn't eat. Like that was one of my main challenges, because I was constantly like forgetting to feed myself. And it's the reality of being a mother. Like you kind of lose that sense of time within yourself and taking care of yourself, because you're so busy taking care of another baby. But the problem is that like you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of your child, obviously. Yeah, I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one where I've always talked about, as far as I've always liked to give the analogy of
the airplane.
Every time it's I've always, I think that was like when I heard it my first time being on the airplane, it's always just sat with me. Like if your oxygen mask was to drop down, who do you put it on first?
Right.
You always put it on yourself first.
Because you can't do anything. Yeah.
Your child, or the next person you can help. So
yeah,
that's very, I think that's a very important lesson.
It is, yeah. And it wasn't until like you and my mom got on me about it, and I started realizing, okay, well, literally, like I was already struggling breastfeeding, and obviously if I'm not eating, I can definitely not breastfeed, So, but breastfeeding actually is like the big toll that took a big toll. How do you say it? Like
toll.
A big toll, but how do you say like a big toll in my life, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounded weird when I said it. Yeah, like that was hard. Breastfeeding is not easy. It takes a lot of like. It just takes a lot. I mean,
Patience.
I don't know. Some people easily breastfeed. They easily produce, right? So maybe they don't struggle as much. But yeah, like I was struggling. I had to sit on the.
I don't think it's about the producing factor of it. I mean, just sitting in the hospital with you, and the lactation nurse came in. I don't think it was more so about whether or not you produce. I feel like that does make breastfeeding easier, But I do believe that all first time moms that have never done it before,
Yeah.
just the simple fact of teaching your child how to latch.
Yeah.
You know, and knowing how to hold your child, you know, feeling comfortable, you know, doing it in front of others. I mean, in today's world, I mean, you still have a group of people, you know, that just don't care, you know, and they'll just, you know, and there's nothing wrong with it.
That's a great topic to talk about, like breastfeeding period. Just because there's
Well, I mean,
always
we're talking about it now, so
okay, like I want to say, like, even the stress from like the outside world where everybody's telling you left and right how, oh, you need to breastfeed, it's good to breastfeed, like that's what you know, it's so like it takes a mental like toll on you because you want to do it. It's not that you don't want to do it, but it's like if it's so difficult for you that you're stressing out, you're losing weight over it, you're like no, like your mental health is deteriorating, like it's not healthy at all. And I feel like I was big on like, oh yeah, like I want to breastfeed only, but it's bigger than that. And like that just, like if you're hanging, it just drops you. Like that's what it did to me. Like I literally just like dropped because I'm like, whoa, like it's crazy how that works. And at the end of the day, you know what's best, and if you have to feed your baby formula, that's okay. My daughter is perfectly fine, weighs perfectly fine, functions perfectly fine. I mean, besides her little her little attitude issues, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the world makes you believe that being the perfect mom is breastfeeding, and in reality, sometimes it just doesn't work for you.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. So just to kind of circle back around, and this is not, and I mean you can answer this question. You know, this is uncut. You know, we don't cut this at all. So I mean, answer it however you like to answer it. But just more, you know, from another mother, you know, or another upcoming mother.
Yeah.
You know, somebody that's, you know, just kind of moving forward. I want you to answer your questions as if you're speaking to, you know,
of course mom?
Me, but you know, another mom, you know, a new incoming mom, or you know, a mom out there, or just a mother that just may, you know, need some advice. I mean, yeah, you only been a mother for, you know, I would say a total of 16 months. You know, because pregnancy matters. Pregnancy counts.
For sure.
You have to take care of your body. You know, that's all about being a mother. You know, you have to take care of your body even before your child is actually here on this earth.
Because you still have to protect your child while they're in you. You still have to feed them because you're feeding yourself through them.
Yeah.
You're feeding them through yourself, I mean. But yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so, go ahead.
You kind of brought it up a little bit. You were saying how, you know, things were a bit easier when I was home. You know, so how important is it that the father is engaged in all of it?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I mean, so just and what I mean by all of it, I'm not. I feel like you're answering a lot of questions that's solely right now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like all your responses, just because I know you know, but just because I know you and I know what you've been through and I know what you're doing, you know, in your life and your career right now. But just kind of, if you can kind of like just
reflect on even me having a father in my life, or
I mean that like all the way back, like I mean from, you know, that's, you know, Hispanic household to, you know, navigating from a Hispanic household to now, you know, what would they call it? A bilingual, you know, now household, as far as
biracial.
You know, biracial. There you go, biracial. You know, don't laugh, y'all. It's not bad. No. I say what's that one thing I be saying? I say a lot of crazy things, but I don't know. Like there be things that I be saying, and then
like when you call placentia.
Oh, well, that's just because, you know, one of the stores is in that city. So it's just like Placentia is in my head, you know. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know what I'm referring to.
No,
you know what I'm talking about. So it's just like.
But a lot of the times you do use like.
Yeah. And then I did that one TikTok video where I said what did I say? OGBYN. Right?
No, you said OBGYN. Wait.
What'd I say?
OGBYN. Wait, what is it? OBGYN. Yeah, you said OGBYN, yeah.
Yeah,
And then somebody like
it was
commented.
funny 'cause somebody commented and
Yeah.
caught that, and I didn't even catch it.
I didn't even catch it either, and we were
But
both
it was
editing
just,
it.
yeah, it was just, it was what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay.
Okay,
So,
back to that question.
Yeah.
First thing is like, it's no good if you have the father there and you're not allowing them to be a father. And I had to learn that a little bit. I feel like a lot of times I was like trying to intervene. But you just have to let a father be a father, because a father is not intervening when a mother's being a mother a lot of the time, right? Like, you let me do me.
Yeah, in my case, yeah, nah, I let you.
Yes.
For the
but a lot
part.
of the times, because they're just like, well, she's gonna do it because she's a mom. You get what I'm saying?
I think at the beginning in the hospital, I think I was.
But you were advocating for me. That was a little bit different.
No, just when I was speaking with you, just like without nurses and stuff being there. No, I like when you're breastfeeding. I know when you're breastfeeding, you know, I was getting frustrated with you. And, you know,
because I was
feel
getting,
like you weren't listening to the lactation nurse, and so. But once again, you hit it. I mean, you had trainings from so many different people that they're trying to come in and tell you how to do it and do this. It was like at the end of the day, you have to learn what was going to be comfortable for you. As long as your child was going to be comfortable, and as long as your child was going to be comfortable and you were going to be comfortable, I think that's the biggest one. But after she makes some noise.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, like a lot of the fathers, I feel like, because you've also brought it up to my attention, where it's like they feel like they can't be a father because I'm too busy pushing you, like, you know what I'm saying, like telling you like, oh, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Well, I don't specifically do that though, that much, right?
It just depends when it comes to certain things. So this is where we talk about, we kind of piggyback off each other, because the question is really for you, but it's like kind of like coming to me right now, where it's just like, I can kind of answer that one. Not basically solo off for you, but I could say what you're trying to say, which is you have to let a father be a father. A lot of the times, there's already enough that goes on as far as, like, as we know, we just recently had Mother's Day and Father's Day. And I mean, Mother's Day is supported heavily more than Father's Day. And
I mean, you were, sorry, not to cut you off, but you were able to walk to the store and grab the first thing you saw because it was a Mother's Day gift. But you know how hard it was to find a Father's Day gift? Like, it's not just out there like a Mother's Day. They have a whole aisle at Walmart for Mother's Day. That aisle was not there for Father's Day.
Yeah, I mean, but
Go ahead.
Because it kind of talks about it just as far as, fathers, needing to be more present, and just how fathers do need to be more present, how we need to, step up and speak up. A lot of us want that respect, but, we won't step up as fathers and do what needs to be done. But also at the same time, I've personally seen it, and I know a few people, who basically, if they're not in a relationship with the father, they don't try to allow the father to still be the father. It's like, oh no, if you want to be with, that other girl, then you're not gonna be in my child's life and this and that.
Yeah.
But it's just like, overall, at the end of the day, I mean, man,
if the father's trying.
I mean, it's not even that. It's just if you lay down with the father, I mean, at the end of the day, give him his respect. Let him do his get. But kind of what you were more so speaking of was just from an aspect, like, if there's little things that like, there are times where I feel like, yes, definitely at the beginning, where it was like, damn, is this even my child? It's like how you were working for before you really went back to, I mean, you weren't pregnant at all, but you were working for that, like, going to people's homes and watching their kids, babysitting.
Yeah.
Like, I literally felt like I was that, because it was like, it's like, I feel like you were a stay-at-home mother that was working, while I was coming to babysit. It was just like, and you were still trying to oversee,
Yeah.
you know, what I was doing versus learning how to give me my alone time.
Yeah.
Like I had to learn how to give you your alone time.
Because like mothers then do say how they need their rest.
Yeah.
So it's like.
But I feel like a lot of times.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the times it's like you guys contradict yourself.
Yeah, because we'll still like let's say you did. Well, I'm not saying I do that now because I think I've worked on it. Like just letting you do you. But like if you take Leia out of the room, like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When I'm trying
when
to
you really
sleep.
Knocked out, I take her.
Yeah, and she's like crying and crying. You get me? Like, I feel like moms really need to understand, like, it's okay. Like, they are okay. Yeah. You know? I mean, you trusted them to have a baby with them, so I feel like you should trust them to take care of your baby. I mean.
Yeah, I definitely, yeah.
I would hope so. I mean, I would.
If you trusted yourself to have unprotected sex.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I clearly at some point you trusted, you know, him, you know, or same vice versa, him and her, you know.
Yeah.
There's also, you know, dads out there that act like that. But I mean, it's like it's you trusted that person,
yeah,
you know, that much to, you know, roll the dice on, you know, to you gambled, you know, $50,000, you know, that one night, you know, whatever it took, you know, you gambled that, and it's just like, okay, so at that point, you know, you kind of got to live with that risk. You got to live with the dice you roll. You got to live with the number you hit. So, you know, I definitely do think that, you know, as well as like allow, you know, as fathers, a father's never going to get any better of being in their child's life if the mothers, you know, don't allow the father to be in a life, you know, and because you have to allow, you know, as mothers, you know, mothers make mistakes as well.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just covered up because a lot of times the father's not there. Like in my case, like, you know, if I'm doing something with Leia, you know, or like just last week, you know, it's like a mistake on my behalf and something that's like been bothering me ever since it really happened. But it's just like I knew how to own up to it versus like you're at home versus like if it was you at home, you basically could have got away with this, not even mentioning, hey, this happened, you know, etc. X, Y, and Z. Is just like it could have, you know, could easily been overlooked as something you kind of got to live with, you know, in your heart. Boom, it happened. Because, you know, most likely fathers, you know, away from the house. So just I just definitely think, you know, like mothers at the same time have to show. It's like the same thing when it comes to like working, right? When we go to work, nobody likes somebody watching over their back.
Right.
You know, nobody likes being watched, feeling like they're on surveillance, you know, 24/7. You know, it's like, damn it, like you hired the person, you know, give the person, you know, some freedom, some space, you know, to show you that, you know, that they're capable of doing it. And once again, you won't see that in just one shift or, you know, 2 shifts or 3 shifts. You know, it's going to take, you know, a few couple of months for you to see, you know, the progress on how things go. And I feel like that's the same thing as far as, you know, parenting, you know, fatherhood. I think it was just a little different for me because it wasn't really like my first go around with babies. Like, you know, just you were around, you know, when my first nephew, you know, and even with that, like, you know, my sister would pick and choose. She's same way. You know, my sister would pick and choose, you know, on, you know, I know when it was like my first nephew, like if she really needed help, you know, then she would like, okay, boom, here you go, you know, watching whatever. But if she was good, I mean, you know, you wanted to see him, it was kind of like she never said no, but it was kind of like, oh, I got this kind of thing, you know. And so it was, you know, that's what it was like. So let's continue. So we don't really run out of time. We're gonna keep this one a little bit shorter today. Yeah. But just kind of, or were you done? Like, I mean, I think. Oh,
about me, yeah.
But no. How important, you know? Just once again, the question is, how important do you feel like it is for fathers,
Yeah.
to...
So again, like from when, like when they're little, because I know you wanted me to talk about like entirely. So, I mean,
well, start from the beginning, like from pregnancy, like what without.
oh yeah,
So,
so like if I start off with pregnancy, like that's a big one because you're you're going to the OBG. Yeah, I'm saying it right.
going to the OB.
Yeah, you're going to the OB with your partner. Like you feel more supported. You know, the father's there. You get me, like the excitement grows. Like it's 10 times like easier because half of the time, like what would we do? You would drop me off at the entrance. That's important because I'm barely able to, well, I wasn't that big, but you know, some women are barely able to walk. That's important. Like, okay, go ahead, go inside. I'm gonna go park the car.
Yeah, versus
Like,
having the park, especially
yes,
the third,
and then
the third office.
yes,
Yeah.
and then like, a lot of this stuff, like a lot of the times, like you're told by like the nurse, like, oh, go like do this, and like the father's there to hear anything like you're missing. I don't know. I feel like a lot of times, like when you're pregnant, or even like inside the hospital, like when we delivered, that's also a good example. Like your head isn't all the way there, so the father is there to catch everything you didn't catch, or to like be on top. Like for example, the prenatals or anything, any medication that I had to take like during my pregnancy, like having you there as the father makes it so much easier on the mother, especially because they're already like, you know, dealing with a lot of stress. Yeah, I mean, then like I said, you take it to the hospital where like the nurse had told me how to take care of myself, not realizing that I'm not really paying attention because I just gave birth like what 2 days ago, like in that sense.
Oh, like you
The
talking about when
last
you
day
get
when we
ready to
were,
exit?
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like
like
two and a half.
I'm not like really like paying attention to that because I mean I have a newborn, I just gave birth, and then it's like you came through and you were like, well, tell me. And a lot of times the nurses don't care to tell the fathers because I guess they don't think that the father is really gonna take care of the mother. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But then you take it all the way to when like a child like starts crawling. Like I haven't experienced it yet.
I
Like
think
for
she's
us as a
almost
mother.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But it's so important. I mean, when I'm telling you, when you come home, that girl has the biggest smile on her face. She knows that that's her daddy. She knows who her mommy is, who her daddy is, and the child needs the love from both. It's so important. And then like I said, like you take it all the way to when they start growing up. I mean, you're the example of a male figure, you know? You're her example of what she wants to grow and
Look for
look for in a
within a
male.
man.
Yeah, she wants to know. And not only that, but also like she herself. Like I know you said that you want to get her to like to do stuff for herself as an independent woman, that she'll grow up to be, so that she doesn't have to. Of course, like if you have a good man, you want to depend on them. You want to trust that you can depend on them, but that she can do it herself either way if she didn't have a man, you know? And that's important. I mean, it's so important. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like even when they grow older, like that's when they say like, "Oh, she has daddy issues," you know? It's the truth. I mean, the father's not in the house, the father's not there for his daughter. She starts to a lot of things go wrong,
Yeah,
like
it starts to wild out.
yeah, and I've
Looking for
seen that, like
looking going out there searching for
the love that her
that her
father
father.
never gave her.
Yeah, and then
So
finding the wrong person.
yeah, I feel like I can dive deeper into it, break it down, but that's like the preface since we're trying to keep it short and simple. I think I covered, right? Some of it.
Okay. Yeah. So.
I mean, do you have anything to add?
Huh?
Do you have anything to add?
Just kind of, when you're talking about when you're talking about how I feel like fathers are treated in the hospitals.
Oh yeah.
If we kind of
It's
just
really
talk
bad.
about that a
Yeah.
little bit, because it kind of was sparking up things. I mean, it's been 6 months, and it's kind of like I never forgot anything, but I did definitely stop thinking about stuff. But I guess you can say, I mean, as fathers, on how we're treated in the hospital, at least for what I like for
What you
me.
experienced,
Yeah,
yeah.
for what I experienced. Like, I had some good. I had some good, and then I had some like, oh, okay, it could have probably been better.
Yeah.
But just kind of going back to the, just OB visits.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to the OB visits is like, this is why I also feel like a lot of fathers get, and I mean, we have to be, of course, mentally strong, to make sure that we don't get to that phase. But a lot of fathers get, what's the word I'm looking for? Unmotivated, I guess you can say, by the way that the system, it does treat us as well. But we do have to understand, like, the bigger picture, the bigger goal, that we just got to be there for our child. And at the end of the day, it don't matter what, they feel, they say, or what the statistics are talking about. We have to change that overall. And that was like my biggest thing, was changing the statistics, especially as a young black African American father. It's like, definitely for me, it's like, nah, that's not me. Like, completely different. Like, I'm there for mine. I support, I provide, I make sure I'm gonna be there. I'm be there every step of the way. Like, never missed the OB appointment, never missed the one appointment. Like, never got up and walked out the room during, the labor. It's like, always was there for every single piece of it, from the moment, like, just the moment finding out. It was like, just always being there, how important that was. And it was like, you have to remember why you're doing it, because the nurses, the doctors, they don't understand, they don't know, they just know statistics. Like,
Yeah.
a
Like the
lot
stereotype.
a lot of females are walking in, just even when we went to Planned Parenthood, because we went to Planned Parenthood to go get the second heartbeat check. When we went to go get the heartbeat check, like, even me walking in there, I mean, just walking in there, yeah, I was uncomfortable. But just, you look across the board, I mean, every female was in there by themselves. Like, some girls were crying, some were walking out just crying. It was just like, there was nobody there to really be with them, and probably they haven't told their mother yet. That's typically the first person that a female tells is their mom, and they're not there to comfort them. It was like, you was there comforting her when you was laying down in the bed with her, or in the car, whatever, wherever you end up doing it at, you were there to comfort her then. So where are you at now? And I just feel like that's definitely a big thing, as fathers that, or upcoming fathers that, or just males in general, that needs to, that needs to be fixed, just as far as that, so we can stop having this whole, the way that we're viewed,
Like stereotypes.
Yeah,
And, like,
the stereotype and the way that we're viewed. It's, we've kind of put it on ourselves, on why we are viewed this way, because of our actions, and what we do. So,
like, when they take an average of, like, a person scoring this many goals, or this, like, when you take that, like, sports, they take your average. They always take an average. So it's like, as much as of a great father you can be, like, those other fathers need to step up too, in order to bring up, the statistics. And
no,
like,
correct. And so, just to kind of get back, on it, what I was saying was, just from some of the OB visits, I mean, I never felt in the photo. I never felt, like I was included in what the, it was like, oh mom, oh mom, oh mom, oh mom.
Like, a lot of times you made it a point to stand up and look at the ultrasound, because it was like, their expectation was, you sit on that chair and you stay on that chair until I'm done.
Yeah.
But it's like,
and it was like, you want to, as a first, especially not even just a first time father, because second, third, fourth, fifth, I want to do exactly what I did, with my first child, with all of them.
Yeah, let me add something really quick. So, like, even if you take an example of, like, how we go to the doctors now with Leia for her checkup, like, I feel like she knows, like me personally, I don't, and I know a lot of moms, like it's so hard to see your baby get shots for some reason. Like it just makes you like sad and like want to cry. But I mean, not a lot of times, every single time he's held her, and that's been helpful for me, and it's been helpful for her, I'm sure. Like she's been able to know, like, okay, my daddy's got me, my daddy's carrying me, he is. And yeah, like those are little moments, but they're big memories and they mean a lot, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I even held her when she got her ear pierced. I think when it just comes to pain,
Yeah.
like inflicting pain is like whenever you're hurting, you know, emotionally, physically, you know, financially. I mean, being able to come to me is, you know, what I'm want to install in her. It's like no matter what, you know, when you're hurting, you know, daddy's gonna comfort you. Daddy's gonna be there for you. You know, daddy's gonna tell you, you know, it's okay. You know, but I'm most importantly, I'm gonna teach you how to get through what you're going through. You know, so definitely that. And yeah, so you know, just what time is it?
12:15.
Oh, okay, this like 40 minutes right here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get ready to wrap it up, y'all. But like I said, I mean, once your boy get going, y'all, you know, be on the lookout. You know, it's a lot to talk about. It's just life. It's just a lot to talk about. But just before we wrap it up, as we continue to talk about, you know, just
fatherhood and motherhood and parenting.
Yeah, and just, you know, how you know, we're mistreated inside of, you know, these hospitals and you know, things like that, or misunderstood. We're like pit bulls, you know. If anybody ever watched Pitbull and Parolees, you know, Pitbull and Parolees, you know, how her whole commercial or trailer, whatever you want to call it, she talks about, you know, is the number, you know, America's #1 misunderstood breed.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what it is for males as well. It's like we're misunderstood creatures, genders. You know, as far as, you know, in this pregnancy life, you know, both are pregnant. You know, both of us are pregnant. A lot of people's like, "Oh, are you pregnant too?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." You know, so you feel what she feels.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel that. I'm not necessarily.
Not physically, but it's like I don't mentally. Like you care if I'm in pain. Like you're like
mentally and emotionally.
Like,
you know,
let me find a way to
mentally and emotionally. Like I was there every step of every cramp, every, you know, every
crying because I didn't like the scent of an oil. Remember?
Yeah. I mean,
rubbing my feet, massaging.
I mean, you gotta go through all
you
of
took
that.
me to massage. To get my feet
massaged.
I mean,
she was. That was crazy for me, y'all. Like, when she literally cried, you know, because she didn't like the scent or something.
That was only one time though.
And I'm looking at her like, what in the hell is wrong with you? You know, I just couldn't figure that out. Like, and it's so you know, we are pregnant as well. You know, as man, you know, a man that's gonna be there for our woman.
Because again, like they say, you come together as one.
Yeah. You know, it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, damn, man, you know, you're going through it as well. You know, you're going through it as well. So it's just kind of like, all that. And, you know, I could say that as much as I didn't think I did, just kind of being able to come out of it and recover. I mean, I just had a lot going on, like I mentioned in episode 1. So if you haven't watched it, you know, make sure you watch it. But just, you know, buying a house, you know, moving, you know, still having to go to work, because I didn't take maternity leave, which, by the way, I still want to take it. But, I mean, just all of that, I feel like there was just a lot that was going on at the time, and I wasn't myself, you know, and I don't fully believe I've got back to my full extent of myself, just because, I mean, there's everything. So much has happened, you know, like we talked about. I don't, you know, just like as they say, like a woman's body does, you know, she doesn't really recover, you know, for how long was it? 2-3 years or something you were saying?
Oh, 7 years.
7 years, you know, you guys don't fully, you know, snap back and recover. And I think, you know, it's the same thing for the men's mental, you know, we don't necessarily, you know, recover, you know, from either what we seen or what we went through during the pregnancy, just because, you know, we got feelings as well, you know, emotions as well. We got a lot of stuff that's going through our mind, our head. You know, what are we feeling? What are we thinking? Just as much. And by no means am I trying to compare, what a female goes through versus a male, but it's nice what we go through as one, as both being pregnant. Of course, at the end of the day, as women, you guys, you endure the most pain. You guys are the ones really, really, really going through it. And I just feel like as men, we do really need to step up and definitely be there for our queens. Like, that's just very important. Just from being there, I mean, yeah, I now understand. We got to definitely do story time. That'll probably be the next one. But I definitely now understand, those movies of, when the woman's in labor and the man is talking and, the woman's like, shut up, on that. But I mean, she never told me to shut up. But
Yeah.
I basically was like, I was ready to like slam her. It was like, I'm looking at her and she,
No, I was ready to slam you.
She's acting crazy. She's acting crazy, and I'm like, man, you need to relax. But we're gonna say that for story time / podcast, whatever. Vision on that one. So but overall, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this little combo that we talked about. Try to keep it shorter than like I said, I try to keep the episodes shorter, smaller. That way you can stay engaged. Or just listen to it on your way to work, on your way back from work, whatever the situation may be. Listen to it at home while you cooking, cleaning, whatever's going on. So however we can continue to make great videos and put out great podcasts for you guys. Feel free to comment down below. Let us know if you did enjoy this video. Once again, don't forget to give it a like, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel, my channel, d.visionz podcast. So that way you will be pinged and notified as soon as I drop another one. So other than that, you guys, I hope you guys have either whatever it is. For us, time is nighttime, so I hope you guys have a blessed, great night. If it's morning for you when you're watching this, I hope you're having a beautiful morning and enjoying the rest of your day. If you're coming back or going to work, have a great day. Stay blessed, be blessed. Once again, this is King D, y'all. My motivation is not to hide the information. Peace.